New England Patriots hosting the New York Jets and beating them 25-22. A game that was a close contest, like I've just said about every game this weekend, which was a really good fun and a scrappy win by the New England Patriots, James. And it's a shame that Sky's not on, because obviously he'd be definitely here to gloat about this Patriots team winning. But a good scrappy win after coming back from London. The Jets also a team that lost in London, subsequently losing their head coach. Obviously, it was a shame with Drake May getting injured with that head injury and Brissett coming in the game, but he closed out the game for them. But it was actually a big shame, because I thought May was really showing off his ability in this game. He seemed to really feel like very confident, like his rushing ability as well. Like he was looking really impressive. It's a shame. Hopefully, he's not out for too long.
No, I think I've enjoyed watching him the last couple of weeks. I think obviously the Patriots have done the right thing here. Sit him for a while, let him learn, let him, obviously to get more reps in practice and everything else. They can afford to do that. They've got Brissett there, who I think must be great for any young quarterback to be learning under. I mean, he came in late and he did his sort of Jacoby Brissett thing and managing the game and seeing out the win. He didn't have too many flash plays until the end. Let's hope it doesn't keep him out for too long or hinder his progress in too much of a way. But yeah, he's sort of living up to that dual threat billing that he sort of created for himself in college. It's going to take time, obviously, for these young guys to get comfortable in the league. But I like what the Patriots have done here. And I look forward to seeing more of May.
Yeah, I think I was quite impressed with him in this game, to be honest. I mean, this is the most points they've had this season, which when it's 25 points is a little bit, it's pretty bad. But to week out, I mean, as well, they're at 247 total offensive yards to 336 by the New York Jets. Like this was the epitome of scrappy. This was like a bit more like classic New England. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I see. I can see it. Yeah. I mean, I think the defense just looked a little bit more
together.
And after last week where they were called out as being a bit soft and everything else, they really needed that. And there was some interesting matchups, because obviously you've got Christian Gonzalez, who's been playing well pretty much since he's got into New England, and he mostly shut down Davante Adams on 23 routes. The Adams had one catch for 16 yards. On the other side, you had Marcus Jones, who was having a bit of a bad day against Garrett Wilson. He had 22 routes against Wilson, allowed 5 catches for 113 on 8 targets. Wilson, he caught 2 nice fades, a nice crossing route, a corner route on Jones. And so that was where the Jets were having success, but you can't have it all, obviously. It's really difficult to shut down 2 premier wide receivers without double teaming both of them and leaving yourself super vulnerable everywhere else. But, I think that, again, steps in the right direction for the Patriots. And if you can get May back under center, getting that bit more experience, he offers that little bit more than Brissett does with his sort of dynamism, and he's sort of got that. I mean, Brissett's got a decent arm still, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking that at all, but May just looks like he's got a real cannon that he can just let fly. And he's sort of got that kind of gunslinger mentality that I just don't think Jacoby Brissett has got. I've got my stat for you, if you would like a stat. So the Jets scored 20 plus points, committed 0 turnovers, and held their opponent to under 250 yards of offense. Since 1940 until yesterday, teams were 756-0 when hitting those 3 metrics, but the Jets managed to become the first team to lose. 756 wins to 0 losses when committing that. Just when you think the Jets season can't get any worse.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost every game since they fired Salah. looking back at that now, I mean, you cannot have 336 offensive yards and that stat and lose. You just can't, can you?
No.
Like, it's just
the last time a team. So they were the first team since 2012 to lose with 0 giveaways and less than 250 yards. This is a stat along a similar line, but somehow it's different. The last time it happened was also a team quarterbacked by Aaron Rodgers in a Green Bay loss to Seattle. So he just seems to have these stinkers now and again. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. Everybody in that organization just looks to be devoid of confidence, ideas. It's just been a poison chalice since Aaron Rodgers has got there, and it's obviously not his fault. I don't think he's been playing that badly. What was he today? 17 for 28, 233 yards, a couple of touchdowns. But it's just that the defense, which we just thought would be the unit to carry this team far, just really has been faltering. I mean, Sauce Gardner just looked a little bit lost. Hassan Reddick came back in yesterday, obviously after his holdout, did nothing. No tackles and 2 quarterback pressures in 26 snaps.
Yeah, but he has like not played this year.
Yeah. But every phase of the game, Greg Zuerlein, nicknamed Greg the Leg, just missed another field goal and an extra point attempt. He's got 6 field goal misses on the season. I know a couple of weeks ago they were holding kicker auditions, so don't be too surprised if next week there is a new kicker in New York. And they need something. It has been these little things in games that perhaps would have turned this record around. They're not a million miles away, but they just feel it when you watch them. It just something about it just doesn't feel right or cohesive. It's weird.
I thought it was to do with the run game, but they've run because they've been a terrible running team this year. But they've rushed for over 100 yards in this game. They've done that 4 times this year, but they're 2-2. So even when they're rushing for over 100 yards and having that complementary offense, it's still not working. Clearly. Oh, well, 50% of the time it's working.
Yeah.
So, it's
not going to get you too far, is it, though?
No, I just, like you said, it just feels like, the next 3 games are Texans, Cardinals, and Colts. Like, Texans are going for a bit of a lull at them. I mean, actually, for them, they're sort of playing all 3 teams at the right time in a weird way, because the Texans are looking not fantastic at the minute. The Cardinals are looking a bit shaky at the minute. The Colts are looking shaky as well. Like, this could easily be then 2-9, or suddenly it's 5-6, and this looks a bit better, doesn't it? Like, this could be a real run for them in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think we said this a couple of weeks ago as well. We sort of rattled off a list when Johnny was with us, and we sort of said, they quite easily could go on a decent streak here, and obviously that hasn't come to fruition at all. Obviously, Jeff Ulbrich, who was presiding over the defense beforehand, his defense has allowed 85 points in 3 games, which is well above the league average, and he's still calling the defensive plays. So maybe they just need to make a change there. Obviously, in a head coaching role, it's quite difficult to see everything as you were doing beforehand. So maybe he needs to hand those responsibilities off elsewhere and allow somebody with a better view of the game to make those decisions for him. Maybe that sparks a change somewhere.
A bad coach, maybe.
Well, I memean, I wouldn't say to his face he's still massive, but possibly so. It's so weird. I mean, I just, the right pieces are there, they're just not gelling. So is that something off the field? Is it coaching issues? Do they need to get somebody in? They need to get a young offensive mind in to sort of come up with a little bit more creativity for Rodgers. Get him out of his comfort zone. Unfortunately, hack it out of the way, which is going to be difficult, and just say, look, I've been analysing your game for a while, and this is what we need to do. We need to go here, we need there, and whatever else. And we need to get a little bit more balance with the run game. and maybe so maybe in the off season that comes, and next year he's probably only got one more year to have a crack, Rodgers. I mean, unless he retires this year, which a lot of people have been seen calling for. But people are saying that Rodgers' time in New York is coming to its end. I just don't know.
Did it ever start?
Well, it didn't. No, not really. But at the same time, I don't feel like he's the kind of guy who's going to want to go out like that. He's going to want to go out fighting a little bit. And if it's not this season, it could be next. And then it's done. But who knows? Who knows? It's just feel for New York fans. They had so much hype going into last season. It came crashing down after a couple of snaps. And then this season's just never got going either. And no matter what they try on the field. So if it's not on the field, maybe it's off the field. I don't know. Maybe it's just a poison franchise. I don't know. Maybe they just need an exorcist to come in and sort of like get rid of some demons in that back office or something, and just, I don't know. They need to try something different, because whatever they're doing at the moment, it just isn't working.
Maybe they need the voodoo doctor in there to try and sort something out, get that juju back. I can imagine Aaron Rodgers probably knows somebody.
More than one person, I would imagine. Yeah.